In this video, we are going to go through on Nanhua Primary School End of Year Examination 2024 Primary 5 Math Paper 1 Booklet B. So let's get started. Question 16. Shirley's listed the factors of 28 below 1, 2, 14, and 28. She missed out two factors. What were the two missing factors? So for 28, you have 1 times 28 and then 2 times 14. So what other thing can we multiply with? Can we multiply by 3? No, right? Can we multiply by 4? Yes, we can. So 4 and 7. And that's it. So the answer to this is 4 and 7 over here. Okay. All right. So let's write here 4 and 7. Okay. Oh no, this is 7. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 17. Find the value of 3 divided by 8. Express your answer as a decimal. Okay. So in this case, let's do the workings for 3 divided by 8. Okay. So we have 3 divided by 8 over here. Okay. So, sorry. 3 divided by 8 should looks like this. Okay. So we have 0.0 over here because 3 cannot be minus by 8. So we minus, okay, in this case 2.4, right? Okay. And in this case over here, what will give us 2.4? 0.3 times 8. Okay. And then 2.4 8 minus 2.4, and this will give us 6, right? So let's take the 0 below, right? So what is close to 60? So in this case, this should be 8 times 7, right? So this should be minus 56. Okay, so this will be 0.37. So 60 minus 56, right? This should be, the answer is 4, right? So we bring down 0 again. So this can be minus by 40, right? And now this will in the end become 0. So what will give us 40? The answer is 5. 5. Okay. So the answer to this question is 0.375. There you go, 0.375. And there it is. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 18. Find the value of 0.22 times 7 times 10. Okay, so for this case, usually I will just break the 7 times 10, right? So 0.22 times 7 times 10. Okay, then usually I'll just bring the 10 over because you can move the numbers around if all of it is the same thing lah. So this is multiply, so it's 10 times 7, and then this will then become 2.2 times times 7. Okay, so what's 2.2 times 7? So you can just put a 2.2 and then you multiply by 7. Okay, in this case over here, right? So let me add a space. So this will then become, okay, so 2 times 7 will be 14, right? Okay, and then put a dot here. Oops, why is the dot like this? Okay, very strange. Okay, then we will put 1 over here. Okay, so 2 times 7 again. So this will be 154, like this. That's what you see over here. Okay, something like this. All right, so the answer to this is 15.4. Okay, so there's multiple ways to do it. Do whatever is comfortable. All right, let's move on to question 19. So what is the volume of the cube shown below? So if 8 centimeters, so the property of cube is all sides are the same. So that means length is equal to breadth is equal to height. Okay, so that means in this case over here, this is also 8 centimeters, and this is also 8 centimeters. So that means the volume of the cube is equal to 8 times 8 times 8. Or in this case, Usually I just like to do this, right? Volume of cube or volume of anything is basically, oops, length times breadth times height. So you multiply this by x, multiply this by x. Okay, so 8 times 8 is equal to 64, right? Times 8. So we can do the workings, right? So 64 and then multiply by 8, right? And what would this give us? Okay, so we can start with 4 times 8. So 4 times 8, this will then give us 32. So we put 2 here and then put 3 over here. Oops, not R, 3. Then 6 times 8 will be 48 and then plus 3, 51. So it's 512. Okay, so in this case, the answer to this is 512, right? Centimeter and then cube. There you go. So the answer to this is 512 centimeter cube. Oops, I actually don't need a centimeter cube. Just 512 will be enough. That's why it's over here. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 20. So Mr. Low had 260 laptops for sale. He sold 35% of them last week. How many laptops did he sell last week? So laptops, right, sold last week is equal to, in this case is wait 260. So he sold how many? 35%. Okay, wait, 35%. Okay, which is basically 260 multiplied by, this should be 35 half out of 100. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so what you can do is you can cancel out so let me see, 260. So you can technically simplify the fraction over here. So I'll just say this is divide by 5. Okay, so let's divide this by 5 to just simplify, and then we divide this by 5. So then what will this become? So this will be the same as, if you were to just say 35 divided by 5 is 7, 100 divided by 5 is 20. Okay, 7 out of 20 over here, right? There you go. So you can cancel out the 0. So cancel out this 0 from here, and you cancel out this 0 from here as well. And then you can cancel out 2. So I'm going to put a red line. Cancel out this 2. And then cancel out this 26. 26 divided by 2 will be 13. Okay, so I'm going to put it in another color like this. All right, so in the end, this will then become 13 times 7. Okay, so this should be 91. Okay, so if you were to use some workings, times 7 over here, right? So this should be, let me draw a line. 7 times 3 is 1. Okay, and then we put 2 here at the top. 1 times 7 is 7 plus 2 will be 91. Okay, correct. So the answer should be 91 for question 20. 91. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 21. All right. So find the value of 2 times 4 over 9. Okay, so this will then just become, so 4 is basically just 4 over 1. So like this, you can technically just say this is like um, over 1. Okay, 4 over 1 is like this. Okay, it's same, right? So that means 2 times 4 is basically this 2 times 4 and then over 9 times 1. Okay, and then from there, what do you think the answer is? So the answer to this will be, what do you think? 2 times 4 is 8, 9 times 1 is 9. Okay, that's it. So the answer is 8 over 9. Okay, so this is 21, part A. Right, so part B, so I'm going to put this here. Okay, so part B, the figure is made up of 3 identical squares. One square is divided into 4 triangles. What fraction of the figure is shaded? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to also draw identical triangles as well in the other what do you call this squares. Okay, so in this case so I'm just going to write here, draw triangles in other squares. Okay, so yeah, this is what we did. That means the total triangles is equal to basically 4 times 3. Okay, got one square is so 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, so from here we can just say lah, one square is equal to 4 triangles, and then three squares, right? 3 squares is equal to this, right? 12 triangles. So I see over here. All right, so from here we also have shaded. So shaded triangles equal to 2. So fraction of figure shaded is equal to, we have 2 over 12, right? In this case over here. So can we simplify 2 over 12? Yes, we can. So always you want to simplify this. So then we divide this by 2, right? So we want to divide this by 2 in this case over here, right? Divide this by 2 and then divide this by 2, and this will equal to, what do you think the answer is? So 2 divided by 2 is 1, 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the answer to this is 1 over 6. All right, that's it. Okay, so then let's move on. Oops. Let me copy this. Right, that's for 21 part B. Let's move on to question 22. Okay, find angle K. Okay, so one circle angle, right, is equal to 360. Right, so angle K is equal to 360 minus 127 minus 75. Okay, so from here we can say 127 minus 75 is 200, right? So 360 minus 202. Okay, so the answer should be so if I were to just say 127 plus 75, okay, and what would this become? So in this case 7 plus 5 is 2. We put 1 over here, right? So 2 plus 7 is 9. Then you put 10 over here, okay, and then you put another 1 over here, okay, and then you have 202. Okay, so that is how it is for the workings. All right, and then after that 360, this should be 1, and then 60 minus 2, this will be 58. Okay, so if you were to do 360 then minus 202, okay, then from here you can get 1, right? And then you can cancel 6 by 5. This will give us 5 instead, something like this, right? So 10 minus 2, this will become 8, 5, right? Minus 0, 3, 158. Okay, there you go. The answer is 158 degrees. So that's part 1, 22, part 1, 158 degrees. All right, so we'll put this over here. Okay, 22 part B. The table shows the time taken by 4 boys to complete solving a Rubik's Cube. Who was the first to solve the Rubik's Cube? So the thing is that I don't know why it's related with part A, part B. Okay, either way, right. So in time, right? Okay, first to solve. Okay, first to in terms in terms of time. First means lowest number of seconds. Therefore, in this case over here, who has the lowest? 12, 10, 12, 11, 10. So it's Farid. Okay, so this is the answer. So Farid over here. Okay, so Farid has the lowest number of seconds, which means he solved first. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's move on to 23 part A. I don't know why they have part A. 23 part A, three volumes are given below. Arrange the following volumes from the largest to the smallest. Okay, so what do I want to do this? I think the easiest way is to convert everything to milliliters lah, right? So in this case, 5.85 liters, right? And then what is 8? So 5.8 times 1000 equal to 5800 milliliters. So that means this is equal to 5 liters and 800 milliliters in this case over here. All right, so if I were to just give a 1, that goes 1000 milliliters, right, in this case. So remove the R. Okay, so let's move on to 5 1/4. So 1/4 liter is equal to 1/4 times 1000. Okay, and if you know this, they should be 250 milliliters in this case over here. So let me just put this as like this so I can, maybe put this inside. Yes, I can. All right, so in this case, this is equal to 5 and then 250, 5 liters, then 250 milliliters. Okay, then from here, you can see which one is smallest. All right, smallest is this one. This is the smallest. Okay, I'm going to put smallest over here. And then which one is the largest? The largest is 5.8 liters. That's it. Okay, so then put 5.8 liters. Smallest is 5 liters, 90 milliliters. And then for the middle one is 5, 1/4 liters. So I see. All right, there you go. There you go. Right. So 23 part B, a machine can fill up 7 bottles per second. At this rate, how many bottles can fill up? 1 minute. Okay, so 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So we know that 1 second is 7 bottles, right? So 60 seconds is 60 times 7, right? So 6 times 7 is equal to 40 bottles. Okay. Okay, so the answer to this is 420 bottles. Alrighty. So that is 23 part B. 24, the graph shows the fare a taxi company charges for the first 10 kilometers. How much is the taxi fare for the first kilometer? Okay, so part A, how much is the taxi fare for the first kilometer? So first kilometer, but before that, we want to know what is the gaps in terms of taxi fare. So over here, we have two gaps, 1 and 2, before the number 6. So that means two gaps is equal to $6. Right, just use arrow more often now. Two gaps is 6. So right, one gap is equal to, in this case, 6 divided by 2. This give us $3. So I see over here. Okay, so two gaps equal to $3. So in this case, 1 kilometer is $3 in this sense. Okay, so this one is $3. Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, let's move on to 24 part B. Jane paid $15 for a taxi ride. What's the distance she traveled? So she paid for her taxi ride for $15. So let's calculate uh the total over here. So I mean the different distance. So we know this is also $3. We also know this is $6. All right. So 4 kilometers is $6. And over here, 12 and 18 between it is plus 2. This is $16. So I see over here. Sorry, not 16 now. So one gap is 3. My mistake. So 12 plus 3, $15. So in this case, from the table, yeah lah, 6 kilometers is $15. So the answer this is 6 kilometers. Right? So I'll just here from the graph, 6 kilometers traveled requires or cost $15. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 25 over here. Right, question 25, a little bit of workings over here. In this case, it says here that in the figure below, ABCD is a rhombus, ADB is 35 degrees, and BCE is 55 degrees. Find BEC. So for rhombus, everything is equal in terms of what do you call this? The different sides over here. Okay, so what this means is that the angles also will be the same. So which angles are the same? In this case over here, angle uh, ADB is also equal to angle what's EBC. Okay, so this is a Z lah, right? Put a line. Guess I'm gonna put here. So here, this line, since this is this line, a Z over here, right? So and then I'm gonna put another line. Okay, angle ADB and EBC is the same, which means this is 35 degrees. Actually, the thing about rhombus is that it's you can think of it as two isosceles triangle, right? So in this case, right, if I were to remove this, right? So in this case over here, this is also 35, right? And then this is degrees. Okay. And that means, right, if this is 35 degrees, you know what? The best part, this is also 35 degrees because they're the same. So in this case, this is also 35 degrees. And in this case also, that's a property of rhombus, right? All the sides are opposite. Yeah, this is the same in this case over here, right? Okay, so they are the isosceles triangle in this case. Okay, and then from here, I think you can get lah. Okay, so from here, angle B BEC. Okay, so BEC, which is this angle, right? This angle that we want. What is it? It's basically 180 minus 55 minus 35, which is 90 degrees. So the answer is 90 degrees. So I see over here. Alrighty. Okay, let's move on to the next question. 55 plus 35 is 90 lah. Okay. Okay, let's move on to question 26. It says here, Ali, Billy, and Chandra shared a sum of money in the ratio of 6, 4, and 9. Each statement below is either true, false, or not possible to tell from the information given. For each statement, put a tick to indicate your answer. Okay, so Billy's share was 2/3 of Ali's share. Okay, so in this case over here, we know ABC. Let me put it a little bit clearer. A, Ellie, Billy, and Chandra has 6. Okay, 4 is to 9. Okay, so Billy's share was 2/3 of Ali's share. So Billy, so total 2/3, right? So Billy is 4 units, and then Ellie, Ellie is equal to 2 over 3. Yeah, I'm going to put like this, right? 2 over 3. And then you have to multiply by 4. In this case over here. Okay. So Ali's share is 2 is to 3. Multiply. So Billy's share was 2/3. So that means, no, that means Ali is 6 units. Okay, then Billy shares 2/3 of Ali, right? So B is 2/3 of Ali, which is times 6 units. Okay, and then basically, okay, I remove the U first. Cancel 3, and then cancel 6 over here, right? So 6 divided by 3, this is 2. So that means, oops, 2 times 2 equal to 4 units. That means for this is rectangle, for this is A. So the answer to this is true. Okay, so true. Okay, so B, Chandra's share was $5 more than Billy's share. Chandra's share is more than 5. The thing is here, not possible to tell. So for B, I'm gonna write here, for B, not possible to tell as not given amount, any amount. Okay, right. So yeah, for B, not possible to tell because what do you call this? We were not given any amount. Okay, let's move on to question number 27. All right, question 27. It says here the figure below shows a rectangle ABCD, which is made up of 3 identical rectangles. The area of rectangle ABCD is 54 centimeter square. The length and the breadth of the rectangles are whole numbers. Find the perimeter of rectangle ABCD. All right, so you can see there's 3 identical triangles over here. So what we can do is we can just list out, right? So we have the here, so we have the length, right? All right. Okay, but at the same time, we also know that this is the length as well. That's what I see over here, right? So this is length, and then we also know that this is the length. That means this is the other side is the breadth. We have one here and one here, and then that's length. This is breadth. Okay, so we have 2 breadth over here. So what does this mean? Okay, so this means that one length is equal to 2 breadth, right? So let one breadth be 1 unit. So that means one length is equal to 1 unit, and then 2 breadth, one length is equal to 2 times 1 unit, which is equal to 2 units, and then one breadth is equal to 1 unit. Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, so from here, that means we have one length over here. Okay, so this is length. So I'm gonna put here as length as bracket 2 units, and then breadth is uh 1 unit. So I'm gonna make it smaller so that at least I can make it everything uh, fit in nicely. Okay, so one breadth over here, which is 1 unit. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy and paste. So this is one breadth. Okay, this is one breadth. This is one length. This is one length as well, like this. Then this is one length as well. Okay, I think you can see the pattern, right? So I'm gonna put arrow over here. So this is one breath. Okay, one breath. And then at the same time, I'm gonna put it here as well. One breath at the bottom. All right, so you can see here we have 54 centimeters square. And then so in this case, the whole breadth and length, bleh. So uh basically AB is equal to DC, right? In this case, which is equal to in this which is also equal to 1 plus 2 equal to 3 units. So this is the, I'll say, rectangle length. Okay, so I know this one. Okay, so rectangle length and then rectangle breadth is equal to 1 plus, okay, 2 units. 2 units. Okay, So that means rectangle area is equal to uh, 54, which is also equal to 2 units times 3 units, right? So guess and check, guess and check. So I will say what if 1 unit is 3, that means in this case over here, that means, let's see, for this rectangle length and the breadth is 3, then 2 times, just bracket 2 times 3, okay, times 3 bracket, no, 3 times, I'll just put a bracket, 3 times 3, okay, I'm gonna just, you can guess lah, right? So 6 times 9, which is 54. So that means, right? So can I make this smaller? Okay, yes, I can. So that means 1 unit is 3. Yay. Okay, so from here, find the parameter. So we know the rectangular breadth and rectangular length. So parameter, parameter, rectangle parameter, okay, is equal to, so 2 units plus 3 units plus 2 units plus 3 units is equal to 10 units, right? So 2 plus 3 is 5, just times 2. And then from there, I think I just put like this. Okay, guess I check, right? If 1 unit is 3, dot, dot, dot. Okay, then yeah, 10 units. So in this case, 10 units is equal to 10 times 3 is equal to 30 centimeters. There you go. So the answer to this is, 30 centimeters. Right, this is a tough one, but yeah, it's good to practice these kind of questions, I would say. Hopefully this makes sense. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question 28. This is a tough, question 27 is very tough. Okay, question 28. Sarah deposited $2,400 into her bank account. The bank paid interest of 2% per year. How much interest will Sarah earn at the end of the year? Okay, so interest, not total. How much interest? Okay, so in this case, we basically just say interest is equal to dollars 2400, okay, times 2%. Okay, that's it, which is basically this one, right? Times, right? 2% is 2 out of 100, right? In this case, it will look something like this. And then that means we will cancel the two zeros. So 100 cancel out, and then we can cancel out the double zeros as well. This means it's 24 times 2, which is equal to dollars 48. All right. So that's the answer, dollars 48. Okay. No need dollars lah. So I just put 48. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 29. Okay, so Joanne took 2 hours 45 minutes to complete fixing a puzzle. She completed the puzzle at 12:30 p.m. At what time did she start fixing the puzzle? Give your answer in the 24-hour clock. Okay, so basically, if I were to draw an arrow, right, this will be one end, this will be the other end. Okay, so we know that at 12:30 p.m., 12:30 p.m., she completed the thing, and then it took her 2 hours and 45 minutes, right? So in these 2 hours for 45 minutes, we need to know what's this, right? So 24-hour clock is this case. All right, so from here to here, what would the answer? So easiest is we just minus 30, right? So let's have another of this. So let's have 30 minutes. 30 minutes. This will then become 12:30 minus 30 is 12:00 p.m. Okay, and then what we're left with is 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm gonna just put like this. 30 minutes means 2 p.m. and we're left with two, 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 uh 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, then from 12 p.m. to here, gonna copy this as well, right? So we just have 2 hours from this over here. Then that means this is 10 p.m., right? 10 p.m. And then we are left with, in this case over here, just gonna write, okay, this will be, let me cancel this, 15 minutes. Okay, and then from here, I think we can probably answer this lah, right? Okay, so if I want to write this down, 2 hours, 45 minutes. So 12:30 p.m. is equal to just as simple, yeah, 12:30 p.m. is equal to 1230. Okay, so let's break down 2 hour 45 minutes to 2 hour 30 minutes plus 15 minutes, right? Okay, so I think this one can cancel out. Right, so from here, 1230 minus 2 hours 30 minutes, okay, is equal to just 10:00, right? 10:00 minus 15 minutes, and this will become 9:45. Okay, 0945. So that's the answer lah, 0945 in this case over here, right? So if I were to draw the whole thing again, right, the line, so basically 1230. Okay, and then we have 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think it's like super straightforward. Okay, so that become 10:00. And then after that, we have the 15 minutes here. Okay, 15 minutes. So that means this is 0945. Okay, whoop, 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 whoop. All right, okay. Hopefully this makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Let's move on to question 30. All right. So question 30 says, in the figure below, a rectangular piece of paper is folded at corner A. Given that ADC is equal to 50 degrees, so ADC is 50 degrees, find AEB. AEB. So let me just draw this out in red. Okay, AEB is what we want here. Okay, so since we know that folded over here, right? What I'm going to do is, this is 50. If this is 50, that means this over here, this is also 90, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line, a very big line. This is 90 degrees. I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to put it here. Okay, so this whole thing, okay, going to put in purple, and I'm going to say this is 90 degrees, right? As what you see over here. And then at the same time, I'm going to draw out maybe blue or orange, dark orange. Okay, so this one, whoops, this one and this one. Okay, so I call this, let me call it angle X. So any folded is actually the same. So in this case, any folded angle is equal to 2 of same angle, which in this case is angle X, right? Okay, so now any folded angle is a 2 of same angle, so that means 90 degrees. Okay, wait, right. Okay, so in this case, angle X equal to 90 minus 50, and then we divide by 2. Okay, so in this case over here, divide by 2. So 90 minus 50 is 40, and then divide by 2. Okay, and then this will be 20 degrees. Okay, in this case over here. Yep, is equal to, correct. All right. So now we know the angle X is 90 degrees. Then the next part is we still got these two folded. So let me draw another green, sharper green. Yeah, I should. So I'll put the 50 as this. Okay. And this is angle Y. So angle this and angle this, right? So I'm just gonna put here, oops, or I just put here lah. Okay, so okay, you know what? I'm just gonna put like this. So there is in this case angle Y and then angle Y. Okay, so any folded angle is still the same angle. So we want to get angle Y. So angle Y, right, is equal to 180 because this is a whole triangle minus 90, and then we know angle X is minus 20. So 90 minus 20 is 70 degrees. So now we know angle Y is 70 degrees. So we know AB in this case. So angle AEB, right? So is equal to, since this whole thing is a straight line, all you can do is we just 180 minus 70 minus 70, 140. This should be 40 degrees. So the answer to this question is 40 degrees. 40 degrees, black. And okay, any folded two of the same angle, angle X and angle Y in this case, and angle Y. All right, there you go. All right, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more of this kind of video, subscribe down below and comment down what other things you want me to go through next. See you in the next one. Bye bye.